Alrighty, here we are. Diff build part 2. We're going to put this bad boy together. You ever kind of wondered what those things look like? That thing. There's where your gear's going to ride. At any rate, put that like that. There. Now, we're going to go strictly by the manual here because I've had really good luck with it, doing it this way. Just going to put you a little grease in here. You don't got to put much in there. Just enough to kind of put your ring on it. Put it right like so. Now, I don't sand my rings. I don't really see the point. That ring is plenty abrasive enough. It ain't going to be no better or worse than anything you do to it as far as I'm concerned. As a matter of fact, I haven't had real good luck with sanding them. I've gone all the way down to the 800 and the 1000. I always end up getting gritty pretty quick. Now what I have had luck with when it comes to sanding them is I'll go ahead and I'll run my diff in. Then when I rebuild them, sand them. Because after my groove is cut, I want to cut that groove while my ring's as smooth as possible. And by sanding it later, I've had pretty good luck. But I just ain't had very good luck sanding them and then breaking the diff in on top of the grittiness of it. Some guys live by it, some guys swear by it. These fellas at the track, that's just how they do it. They've had good luck. They seem to have good luck anyway. They like it. I just do it this way. I've had the best luck. It's pretty infallible. I've had real good luck. I can get 3 or 4 weeks out of my diff. They start getting gritty after about 2 or 3 weeks. They get a little rough. But you can always squeeze another week or two out of them because we know how much fun it is to pull that gearbox out and break it down and all that good stuff. So as you can see, I put a little grease on the ring right in here. Not much, you don't got to put much in there, it's just enough to hold the ring in there. And I clean these real good. Matter of fact, just to show you guys, I practice what I preach here. I clean that sucker so good. Look at that. Man, you clean that thing good. You'll still get a little bit of blackness every once in a while, but for the most part, when I pull my diff apart to re-clean it and redo it, I just always throw in fresh rings. Sometimes I flip them, but rings are just a few bucks. You can throw them in there and you can break it in at the track if you need to real quick. But let's put a little grease on here. Don't have to be much. That's probably a little more than I needed. Right there. Like I said, I cleaned my rings real good. Matter of fact, what we'll do here, I got the old magnifying glass up here. I don't know if you can get a clear view of that or not, but those bad boys are clean and they're smooth. There's just enough abrasiveness to them and inconsistency in the steel that they break in just fine. Now, that said, if you was gonna sand them, I don't recommend sanding them and then breaking it in. I prefer to break mine in and then sand them. Take it all apart and then sand them. I have good luck doing it that way. And we're going to get on into the break-in part, and I'll point some of that stuff out here in a little bit when we break it in after we build them. But you're just going to take it, You got to sacrifice the long out drive though. And then you just do a figure 8 motion. Long strokes, figure 8 motion, sand that baby down until you get it the smoothness you think you want. But I tell you, that right there is downright pretty smooth. I've had good luck with them. It's box stock, straight out of the box. Now, tell me those little boogers right there ain't fun to clean. Them little boogers. God, I hate cleaning those things. I just lay them on a wet... I ran out of motor spray, and I just used a little bit of denatured alcohol, and I put it in there, and I just take that thing and swish it all around in it, and flip it over, and do the other side. That's the best way. Just got to get them clean. But I can tell you this, if you're going to sand your diff ring, it's a good idea to sand that too. If you're going to do it all the way. Now, this right here, we're going to take the factory tool that comes with the kit. I'm just going to drop this little bad boy on there. And we're going to take a little black grease. And we're just going to put a little on here. And it ain't got to be perfect. You just want to get enough in there that the thrust ball stay on there. It ain't got to be a whole lot. It's only got to last about 3 weeks. Unless you're going to try to get more, you might want to add a little bit to it. But it don't take much. You're going to be cleaning that thing up in about 3 weeks anyway. If you're going to be, real thorough about the maintenance. And you just do that. Now for the fun part. If you've got 12 of these little 5/64 balls, when you're done cleaning them, you're halfway there. And if you got, let's see, what would be 24 of these 3/32. Is that what these are? Yeah, 3/16. No. Or 3/32. Let me find let's go to the owner's manual here. Let's go to the owner's manual here. They are carbide diff balls, and looky there. They're 3/32. But it don't say. You have to go to the back of the book if you need to order any. But they're 3/32. How about that? Alright. Back to building. Unless I'm just overlooking it, but I got my specs on and I don't see it. So, let's get down to the thrust ball bearing here. Just going to take it, kind of keep it over your paper towel there. So if you drop one, hopefully it'll fall down in there. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them right there. I got 2 in 1 that time. Look at that. Look how steady that hit. I could have been a brain surgeon. I'm going to put 6 of them on here. Ooh, that grease held on to that one. Alright. Oh, look at there. I got some crud on there. Some hair or something. Piece of lint. So, there you have that. Get this out of our way real quick. Now you're going to take this other one over here. You're just going to drop it right on top. Like so. And that one's ready to go. Just set it right there. Okay, now do the next one here. Same way. Drop it on there. Drop a little black grease on it. Don't gotta overdo it. Just want to get enough on there to hold the ball in place. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. Here we go. Steady as she goes, boys. Oh, see that? About lost them. We'll keep on doing that until we get them all on there. That grease, I hang on to them pretty good. Whoa, whoa. You guys can't see it over here, but just off screen it landed on my J Concepts pit mat. And it's got all the little ridges in it. And it just caught it. Thank you, J Concepts. Those are dandy little mats for 20 bucks. Okay, now we're going to get our handy dandy official kit tool. I think we've all learned them tools are worth more than the bag they came in over the past few months. Handy to have. There you go. Thrust rings and balls are ready to rock and roll. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to do this part. I like to just take mine and drop this on there. Put a little grease in each one. I just fill each hole. Here again, we ain't got to go hog wild. Just enough to hold them in place. That's really all you got to do right there. So you can see that. Just enough to hold them balls in place. Now, we're going to drop one in each hole. You don't have to actually get them in the holes or anything, but you just drop 12 balls in there and then just push them all in when you're ready. That way you don't get grease all over your tweezers while you're reaching in for another one. Sometimes that can be a hindrance, getting grease everywhere. We're just doing this the simple way. You ain't got to be too fancy on it. This thing will work just great. Just knock them all in there. And there you have it. That one there is about ready to go. Now let's do this one. And this is all by the book right here. So all you really got to do is just follow the directions. And it's really pretty much infallible. Once you get it built and get it broke in, it should work just fine. You ain't got to do nothing fancy or schmancy. And I'm telling you, I could have been a dang brain surgeon. Look how steady my hand is. Look at that. Huh. That's not bad. It's not bad. I'm doing pretty good. Looks like I'm going to have enough diff balls to do this here diff anyway. I didn't lose any of them. Man, that's aggravating. Especially if you don't have any on backup. It's like screeching halt to the diff build. trip to the hobby shop. Okay, got all that prepped up. Oh, look at there, we got one trying to peek out. Okay, now if you want, you can put a little grease in the middle, because as the diff turns, it can sorry for the interruption, fellas. The garage door went up. At any rate, you can put a little grease in here if you want, because as it turns, it's going to blow outward, but that's more than plenty, so that's how I usually leave mine. And let's see if we can get a closer shot there. Oh yeah, looking good. Now, for the fun part, on the short end, take my springs. We're going to call that a 7.0. We're going to call that a 6.83. Let's turn it a little bit. 6.84. Okay, this short one I'm going to put on the right because that's going to be my rear diff, and this long spring I'm going to put on the left because it's going to be the front. The reason why I like to put the shortest one in the rear on the .2, on the .1 and the 44, I really didn't worry about it too much. But with the .2, we've got that CVD plunge to think about. So you want to try to get the diff nut, you want it to be as tight in here as possible. You want it to bottom out as much as possible, so that's going to help us get some clearance there. And we're going to talk about that later too. Now, let's get our little tools going here. I'm going to put the thrust in the short end here, right like so. You're going to take this one, you're just going to slide it right down over this and mush them together. And you're going to take your T-nut. Oh, sorry, that's going to be my rear one. You got to put my spring in there. I'm going to take my T-nut, press it down. Now, sometimes when you push that in there, you've got to take another tool or something skinny and push that down in there to where you can get a hold of a thread. Then you're just going to turn it until you feel it start to tighten up. And you're going to watch this piece right here. This little T-nut's going to start to bottom out in there. So what I like to do is get it to where, just to where when I turn this, the other side of the outdrive turns. That's all the tighter I want to get it. Still not turning. It's wanting to turn, but it's still not turning. Keep going here. A little bit tighter. There we go. That's all the tighter I want it for now. Now it's ready to be broke in. Set that over there. Let's go through this one more time. We'll call that a wrap on building the diff. Now there's other little tips and tricks I'm sure guys will want to point out, throw at us. But this is your box stock setup. This is my front one. Now the reason why I'm wanting to make note of that is because I want this one on the front. T-nut. I think we got a bite that time. Almost felt cross-threaded for a minute. Okay, that one's already rocking. I'm just going to pull on them a little bit and work them a little bit and make sure they feel smooth. They feel pretty smooth. This one does. I'm going to actually leave that one just like it is. Now note, this isn't tightened down all the way. A little gap there because it ain't broke in yet, and we don't want to tighten it down until it's break-in time. But there's your diffs. They're built. They're ready to be broke in. You could actually install them in the kit right there if you wanted to, but we're going to get to that because we're going to break them in after the next step, and then we're going to get ready for the gearbox. So hope that helps you guys out. It gives you a little procedure to go by. You can actually see the procedure. There's not much to it. It's pretty basic. If you want to sand your diffs with like some 800 grit or something, the diff rings, why, just remember to do the figure 8. You can just lay them down and put them on some sandpaper and rub them in a circular motion. I prefer the figure 8. I think it's smoother and better. And after talking to quite a few fellas at the track, we've come to the conclusion the figure 8 I think is the best way to sand in the motion. And clean them real good after you sand them. Take some Scotch-Brite, that green pad Scotch-Brite, and rub them off real good and clean them real good. And make sure you get them real clean. You want to get all that little metal shavings and dust particles off the ring before you break it in. But I honestly believe it's better to build your diff like this, break them in, and then take it apart, clean it, sand it, put it back together after you clean it and everything, put it back together, and then run it. You'll have a lot smoother groove in your ring, and you'll still get the grip on the edges that you're trying to achieve. The way this diff here is, you're achieving grip mainly because of the depth of the groove and the tension of the spring. Whereas a lot of guys I see at the track, they'll run their diffs in a week or two, they'll pull it apart, they sand them, clean them, put them back in the car. I prefer to just go over to the counter and buy some new rings and be done with it. But it's a couple different methods, and it works pretty well both ways. So, at any rate, I will be back for part 3, and we will break these in and move on to the gearbox. Talk to you later.